I have one word for you, nice. And I'm not just talking about Samantha Roberts, I'm talking about the weather, right, Sam?
Yeah, so nice the rest of the week. I love that because it really just sums up, we're not going to have any significant weather related issues for the next few days. We've got great weather for July 4th and the next couple of days kind of similar. Highs in the low to mid 80s on Friday. Really feeling though like it's in the upper 80s. So starting to get a little stuffy out there in the afternoon. No rain expected right now, but we could see a few isolated storms tomorrow and on Thursday. Key phrase or keyword isolated. Not everybody will see rain. We did have a little rain out there today, especially this morning. Then we had some big afternoon downpours roll through. They were a little more localized. All that's left is south of Akron. We've got one big storm that just moved out of, or it's in the process of moving out of southern Richland County. And then we've got a couple of downpours here well off to the east of Ravenna. We've got this big storm moving into Stark County as we speak. This is moving through Canal Fulton, and if it holds together, and I think it will, this will be moving into Massillon shortly. Not considered severe, but look at all this red. You can tell this is definitely producing some heavy rain. There's lightning with it, potentially some gusty winds as well. So again, if you're in Massillon, just be aware this is on the way. You can probably already hear the thunder with that. Thinking it will hold together and cross the 77 corridor through Stark County. In terms of any additional storms tonight,
It's a little hot out there, but my question is it hot and humid? Because that kicks it up a notch. I'm going to turn things over to First Alert meteorologist Samantha Roberts. So is it the kind of hot that's hot, or is it that sticky, humid heat?
well, I'll say the short-term forecast the next few days are like just summertime heat, right? It's going to feel very much like early July out there, but the weekend just really hot. This really doesn't include the first part of the holiday weekend. So the 4th of July on Friday, I think is, going to be warm, but I wouldn't say it's going to be obnoxiously hot. That changes though this weekend. Here's our weekend outlook. So we're going to 84 on Friday. That's very seasonable, very typical, doable, but it's going to be a little humid, so it will feel as if it's in the upper 80s. Saturday, 91. We could see an isolated storm, and then Sunday, 92. Now, I know the low to mid 80s and the low 90s are really not significantly different, right? Heat is heat, but when you factor in the humidity, I do think it'll feel a little bit uncomfortable. Saturday and Sunday could get into the upper 90s in terms of that heat index or feels like temperature. Some of us could even briefly experience lower and triple digit heat index values. So we got to get ready for the heat again. Right now, not too bad, 70s, 80s. Some of us, though, are still seeing some storms. Now, Akron and north, it's like one of the most beautiful summer evenings ever, right? But you go farther south, we have some pretty nasty storms here. One in southern Richland County that's trying to move out, so we're almost done with that. And then this other one in our coverage area coming out of Wayne County and moving into western Stark County. We have some very, very heavy rain moving through Massillon. We were tracking this storm at the beginning of the show at Mount Eaton, and then eventually this is going to move into Bethlehem within the next several minutes. I think this storm has weakened a little bit. It's no longer producing quite as much lightning, but still a lot of heavy rain moving towards Canton and towards the 77 corridor through central and southern Stark County. So just be careful out there if you have to venture into that storm. Again, everywhere else it's beautiful, and I do think these storms will wrap up here shortly. We're all